You may have heard that we're hitting a point where there are 75 million baby boomers, 10,000 of them turning 60 and 65 every day. So that's going to be a lot of people kind of aging, right? So a lot of people think of this as a problem. So those of us in the Encore movement say this isn't a problem at all. This is like an army of problem solvers, of people who have age and experience that can be applied to solving some of our biggest social problems. And it's happening at the same time as retirement is kind of becoming dismantled. I mean, people can't afford to retire, or if they can, they don't want to. So the Encore movement is about what is that next 20 or 30 years of your life going to look like? And how can you have a second or third act for the greater good where you do something that's both enhancing your own life and helping your community in some way? Thankfully, here in Grand Rapids, there are so many ways to get involved. The first thing I would say is get out and volunteer, because by volunteering, you will start to understand where your interest matches the kind of needs that exist in your community. I would go to the local office of the United Way, of AARP, of Grand Rapids Community College. You have some great organizations on the ground here who know about this Encore idea, who know where in the community there are needs that can be met by people with a lot of experience. And you might have to go back to school and retrain a little, but the volunteering will help you figure out what you want to do and where you're needed. And it also feels good, and it can be kind of social. So there's a lot of reasons that I recommend that as the first step for people. Well, I say this is a lot like the women's movement was in the 1960s, where there were a lot of women who had to break down barriers to be the first, right, to be pioneers in their field, in the first one in their class in school to get a certain degree. And I think we're going to hit that way where there's going to be the first 60-year-old in that workplace and the first 60-year-old in that class. And so those of you who are already doing it, you got to help those who are coming after you. So if you're already in a pioneering, and if this relates to you, and you're like, I've had an Encore already, take someone along with you. But we should also be talking to employers and letting them know the value of mature workers, of seasoned workers who have empathy, who have leadership ability, who are ready to dig in and stay in a job, who have life experience. So we have to really start educating people about the value that maturity brings to the workforce.